Okay, this next lesson is about arc length. So this time, rather than talking about the area, we're talking about the circumference or the outside border of a circle. So the equation for the circumference of a circle is the circumference equals pi times the diameter. So if you've got a circle and you know the diameter, so the whole distance across, you just multiply that times pi. Sometimes we don't know the diameter, so another way, remember the diameter is twice the radius, so sometimes we say it's 2 pi times r times the radius. Those are two equivalent statements. Okay, on this first one, we want to find the arc length of each sector, give an exact and a rounded answer. So, in this case, we've got this circle, right? I always like to see a picture. We have 35 degrees. And this time, I guess we got a diameter. So this whole length across is 9 centimeters. And this time, rather than us finding the area, we're literally just finding this little length here in red that I've highlighted. What I like about the proportions is we're going to use the same proportion as last time. We're looking at 35 degrees over 360 degrees in a circle equals this arc length x, but this time, rather than putting it over area, all we're doing is putting it over the circumference. So pi times 9. Same idea though, we still cross multiply, so we get 360x equals 35 times 9 is 315 pi. To get x all alone, we divide by 360. So x equals 0.875 pi. And that's your exact answer. In this case, since its distance is just centimeters, but we could approximate that by multiplying that times pi, and we get 2.75 centimeters. Okay, on this next one, we're going to take the degrees we're looking for, which is 240. And you'll notice it's kind of darker here about the one that they want, but we're looking for the the arc length of that part over there on the left. We're going to take the 240 degrees that matches up with that, divided by how many degrees in a whole circle, which is 360, equals the arc length we're looking for over the circumference of this circle. In this case, it gives us the radius. So in the bottom here, we're going to put 2 pi times the 14. Once again, cross multiply, we get 360x equals 240 times 2 times 14 is 6,720 pi. So now we divide both sides by 360, and we end up with x equals 18.67 pi yards, which is approximately, if we multiply times pi, is approximately 58.64 yards. Okay, so in this case it says find the distance the Earth travels in 2 months and its path around the sun. Assume the path of the Earth around the sun as a circle with a radius of 93 million miles. In this case, I'm going to just use the 93 as the radius, and we can label it as million miles to make life a little easier. You can envision it as 60 degrees, or 2/12 of a circle. So we're saying, okay, here I'm going to take a 60-degree angle, and this radius is 93 million. What is the arc length here? Okay, so I take 60 over 360, right? Because we're looking for the arc that matched up with just 60 over the whole circle of 360 equals the arc length we want, the portion of the circle, over the entire circle is 2 pi times 93. Do your cross multiplying, we get 360x equals 2 times 93 times 60 is equivalent to 11,160 pi. Divide both sides by 360. And we get that x equals 31 pi. In this case, that's million, right, miles. However, if we wanted an approximate answer, we'd multiply 31 times pi and we'd get 97.39 million miles. Once again here, notice how we're not doing like miles squared. Squared's for area. In this case, since it's just the distance, we're just a length. We just use the same label. Okay, this one says a Ferris wheel has a diameter of 100 feet. So we got 100 feet. How far has the person traveled when they've moved 180? So we want to know how far they moved when they moved 180 degrees. So what's the length, basically, of half of a circle? So we're going to take 180 over the 360 equals x over, in this case, we can just do 100 pi because it gave us the diameter. Notice in the other ones, when you gave us the radius, remember we have to multiply by 2. So let's cross multiply. We get 360x equals 18,000 pi. Divide both sides by 360. And our exact answer is x equals 50 pi. In this case, it's feet, right? Which is approximately, we multiply that times pi, 157.0, I want to use 4 decimal, that's a lot, okay, 0796 feet. All right, you should be all set. You got the basis for how to find arc length to do your 11